to all of you, honorable members of the dais and off the dais. Not to take much of your time, I would like to see, to reduce the discussion from the national level to the local level, I would like to make a few points. As encompasses everything in detail. Just to put the situation all
for our dice and of the dice, especially those who are spared some time to be speaker on this occasion. I think I must congratulate our Damsa. We can say these community for representing the country India. They are the roots, they are the earth, they are the soul for the country. And the body minority. They have become together to rescue this country. I must congratulate all this young generation who have come forward for the country and by the country for the sake of our countrymen on such a very crucial manner, on the basis of secular manner. They have come forward with very courage and every courage, and I think they have showed the right path to the countrymen, especially to the young generation. In such a very crucial moment, country is passing. Everyone is trying to fulfill his lust by hurting this country, by degrading and defaming this country. I think this Damsa association has given me some light that they want to take the issues of this country for the country by studying besides their countrymen. Though maybe they are very few in number, maybe they are on root level, they are very few in number, but I think this courage taken by this kind of functions and issues, they will make them to stood or so many other issues in future as our country will face. And especially, I think they have done a great job for the society of and secular society of this country by organizing such events. We don't want to blame any community, because after all, whatever I am, whatever we are, we want to see our India united. In any manner, in any situation, we don't want India to be hurt. Especially as so many speakers were speaking here. Always, whenever I go abroad or somewhere here and there where I don't find Indians, they always seek some information about India. What do you mean by secular India? What is secular? So far, world and global community hasn't understood. Maybe you find this word in dictionary, but where this word is physically and practically is exercised. I think India is the only country where secularism and secular values are being exercised. I think this is the duty of each and every Indian to protect and restore these values. There are people who have been trying to play with these secular values. I think this is the duty and this is the obligatory duty of each and every countryman to let the peoples who are coming from outside India or from other regions of India who do not have any information about secular India. I think we are in a position to show what is secular India. I think the issue which we are going through is a very crucial and a very vital issue for the future of the country. I think it is the duty of each and every Indian to stand firm to show what is secular India. Gentlemen, I think on the other point, the first introducer or the speaker has spoken a lot about jihadi. I think all Muslims who have information or knowledge about Islam and Islamic values and Islamic society have clearly mentioned, even if you upper caste student or upper caste your boy or whoever he is being suppressed or oppressed by someone, please this should be said. This should be your title, this should be your initiative, this should be your work on this university. These are my few words. For this, I thank all people and thanks for your patience. Thank you.
Thank you, Shruti. I'll try to go through investigations much and all the questions that we need to engage in relation to the Ayodhya verdict, okay, whether it is Ayodhya verdict or whether it has to be renamed as something else, or whether the significance of Ayodhya, the title Ayodhya verdict itself needs to be questioned. All these is being discussed here. But I would like to look into the whole issue from a movie, from the perspective of a movie that I watched recently. This movie, I found this movie important because the movie was released immediately after the verdict has come out, and it is running a full house in Kerala. Above, the collection record is above that of Indian, okay? And the movie portrays two kinds of Muslims there. One is the so-called secular Muslim, and then you of course have a group of terrorists who are also Muslims. And the duty of the secular Muslim is to get into this terrorist group and to work in such a way that he exposes the activities of terrorists before the police. So he is a traitor. He is a traitor in the terrorist group, and then he exposes the whole group and he finds out their relationship, the terrorist group's connection with the Coimbatore blast. So I feel, because the movie is running full house in Kerala, I feel the movie itself is trying to convey some sort of a message, and it's been almost after 15-20 years in Kerala you have a Muslim hero in a movie. In a full length, a hero is a Muslim character as the hero in a movie. But in spite of that, the movie is running full house. It has got some significance, some message that the movie director, the mainstream they have to communicate with the Muslims. This is the only possible existence for a Muslim in India. That is, you have to be a traitor, you should get into terrorist groups, you have to expose them before the public, and you have to fight out your case. So the Ayodhya verdict brings in such a responsibility before all the Muslims of this country. You have to prove your secular credentials. Otherwise, it is difficult for you to live in this country. And before, we are kind of terrorized, we are kind of terrified, we are not allowed to discuss this. And Tamsa in that manner is doing a great job, because this for the first time we are getting into the verdict. Okay? We are not looking at it from the outset, we are getting into the verdict. We are looking into the problems with the judicial system in India as such. The problems in which we look at Hindus and Muslims from the perspective of judiciary. So, our speaker, Honorable MP, has pointed out this question of time-boundedness of Hindus and Muslims, or Hinduism and Islam, and how the court has taken that into consideration. So, Hindu gods are not bound by time, whereas Muslim gods are bound by time. That's the way in which our constitution look into the questions of Muslims and Hindus. And these kind of